I'm not a big fan of Medicare for all. I mean, I welcome the debate. I think that we should have health care for all. I think that the Affordable Care Benefit is better than the Medicare benefit. But we have invited advocates for it to testify in Congress, in the Ways and Means Committee, in the Budget Committee, in the Rules Committee, being respectful of the point of view. But it is expensive. Who pays is very important. What are the benefits that come in there? Remember November. This is a time when we have to win the Electoral College. Otherwise, we'll be faced with the president again who doesn't really care about increasing health benefits.
Can you win the Electoral College with Medicare for all?
Well, it would increase the vote in my own district, but that's not what we need to do in order to win the Electoral College.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, we have hours and hours and hours and hours of footage that we shot bullhorning the Hillary Clinton event from 1 p.m. today, and it's still ongoing at 4:48 Central Standard Time. You just saw some clips for your TV viewer from the live streams. We have it all in HD, and our great camera crews will come back here tonight and get those highlights ready for you for the David Knight, 8 a.m. in the morning, and then my broadcast, of course, and Owens and the rest of the transmissions at Infowars.com on all our radio and TV affiliates, and band.video, so you can share the videos with your friends and family that don't have affiliates in their area at Infowars.com/show. Now, Hillary Clinton obviously is basically running for president. She at least wants the money, and she's going around still raising money for her foundation. She's doing more campaign stops than all the other candidates pretty much combined. She's on more television than even Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, and, of course, Joe Biden combined. I mean, that's been confirmed. She is on every major establishment TV program, all the so-called late-night comedy shows, ABC, NBC, CBS. She's on Comedy Central. She's on MSNBC. She's on Meet the Press. She's on Face the Nation. She's on This Week. She's on everything. And there's new big national polls out where she's in a dead heat with Joe Biden, who is the presumptive nominee. So you heard it here first, folks, that she would not run officially, but be running the whole time so that she won't be under scrutiny. And then, boom, last minute, if she's able to remove Trump with impeachment, then she comes in and flexes her deep state muscles. She thinks that'll scare everybody else into submission, and that they will run some weak Republican against her, and she will get into office. Why, after all, it was promised to her. She had 8 years of co-presidency with Bill Clinton, then 8 years of co-presidency with Barack Hussein Obama. And I guess for her, 16 years is not enough. So she's got those visions of the anointed she wants back in, and she's still got that whole deep state in there. Most of the neocons are on her side as well, put in by the Bushes. And so that's why she's so confident. She's got the mainstream media. She's got the Chi-Com. She's got the Hollywood America haters. But she doesn't have you. She doesn't have the heart and soul of America. She doesn't have Christ on her side. And she doesn't have the info war on her side either. But they're all weak. Joe Biden can barely talk, gaffes every hour. Every time he talks, he says he wants the Paris Peace Accords passed. That happened to end the Vietnam War. It has nothing to do with us now. He doesn't know what state he's in. He says he's in Iowa when he's in Ohio. He's on another planet. Elizabeth Warren, unelectable, in my view. Putting out total fantasy land garbage we'll get to later. It was our crew noticed this on Friday. Her new site went up on healthcare. It has a calculator that is literally a fraud and tells you the same number over and over again, whatever you want to hear. It's unbelievable. That video's up on band.video. And even Saturday Night Live on Saturday mocked her and her imaginary calculator. I had no idea they'd been working on that at the same time. It's kind of weird to have them do that. I mean, there was no way they copied it from me. They were already in production, obviously. Elizabeth Warren caught a hoax bigger than Pocahontas. Magic calculator that cancels the national debt and makes everything free. Well, it turns out they covered the fact that it does this. This is crazy. This is crazy. Crazy town. So we're going to be breaking all that down. Oh, and of course, Beto never polled at 1%, the savior, the man from the Texas desert, Christ-like Variety and CNN and GQ and all of them said that he was the man to defeat Trump. The man looked like Norman Bates, behaved even weirder, and had bizarre gesticulations. He was the most sanctimonious, arrogant person I've ever seen, the most full of himself. And again, I'll be honest with you, if I was walking down a dark alley and saw his face, I would back away. I mean, he's a scary-looking hombre. I mean, there's actually a genetic disorder. It's a genetic psychopath, but they have a double of one chromosome. They actually look like him. And I'm not trying to be mean, nothing against big, tall, gangly guys, but when they have that mutation, they're also tall and gangly like that. You can actually look it up. And I believe he is a genetic psychopath. I mean, the laughing, the smiling, when he's like, and the guns killed a lot of people. I mean, he can't help but just do that behavior. These people can't hold it in. Well, he's gone now, ladies and gentlemen, but he was critical because he got every other Democrat candidate to say, I want to take every gun. We're going to ban them all. We're coming to your doors to take them. And that leads us to our next point. Nancy Pelosi's making the rounds on all the major so-called news shows. Here's just one of the clips saying that the far left in 2020 will lose them the general election if they don't stop. And she says she's afraid of the things she says and does. Nancy Pelosi laid the groundwork for all this. These candidates teach exactly what the globalists want, what the UN pushes, and what's taught at the universities in the West. And this is a classic tactic when they go, oh, that's the extreme far left that says white people are inherently bad, and if you don't want to work, you don't have to work, and everything's going to be free, healthcare, transportation, housing, medicine, on and on and on. She says, that's not us. That's not, Beto, he's not who we are. No one wants your guns. Just every Democrat city has a total gun ban. Every globalist-run country has a total gun ban for the average person. Only the elites are armed. I mean, that's their policy. I can play you Dianne Feinstein 20 years ago saying, if I can pass a law to ban all semi-autos, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in. So when you hear all this, oh, that's not really who we are. Oh, that's a total lie. Look, I know as an audience, you know that. But they're even turning off their own base with this because they're so enraged by Trump, what's been going on in the government buildings and going on at the universities and going on at these elite corporations that are full of lunatics. The San Francisco sickness has been spreading all over the party. And so they're an America hating, America sucks, families suck, capitalism sucks, babies are horrible, let's kill as many as possible, let's sell their little organs. This is a group that's converted to evil, about half of them. The other half are just la-la land trendies that don't know what they're doing, but they're getting freaked out. That's why they've got to censor those of us that are trying to wake up, those that are in a stupor. You're either evil or in a stupor if you support globalism and the leftist left-hand path. So here's some of what Pelosi had to say. The video's posted, the article's posted at Infowars.com and Newswars.com. I suggest you go get this article, and I suggest you share it. Here it is.
And don't want to give up. How do you avoid actually frightening the American people on health care rather than reassuring them?
I'm not a big fan of Medicare for all. I mean, I welcome the debate. I think that we should have health care for all. I think that the Affordable Care Benefit is better than the Medicare benefit. But we have invited advocates for it to testify in Congress, in the Ways and Means Committee, in the Budget Committee, in the Rules Committee, being respectful of the point of view. But it is expensive. Who pays is very important. What are the benefits that come in there? So I would think that hopefully, as we emerge into the election year, the mantra will be more health care for all Americans, because there is a comfort level that some people have with their current private insurance that they have, and if that is to be phased out, Let's talk about it, but let's not just have one bill that would do that. Myself, I think, remember November. This is a time when we have to win the Electoral College. Otherwise, we'll be faced with the president again who doesn't really care about increasing health benefits.
Can you win the Electoral College with Medicare for All?
Well, it would increase the vote in my own district, but that's not what we need to do in order to win the Electoral College.
And of course, her district is on fire and collapsing with needles and human feces everywhere and total mismanagement on purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, they wrote these health care bills. Obamacare was written to gut the system and loot it by big insurance companies. The big insurance companies wrote it. And that's all these are scams. But here's Bernie Sanders. He says his policies are not radical. Here he is.
My ideas are not far left. They are the ideas that the American people want. I'll tell you what's extreme.
That's right. His ideas aren't far out. Yeah, right. I don't even live in North Korea. I mean, everything's free, but there's no food on the shelves. We'll be right back. Second hour. Please tell everyone how to tune in. That's how you resist. You are Paul Revere. Spread the word. They get Trump out of there, they're going after everybody. They've said it all over the news. These are terrorists. They've said, we get rid of Trump, we've got to destroy his base, we've got to flatten them, we've got to obliterate them, we've got to imprison them. And so you're like, well, we'll just have a shooting war. If you don't get up off your ass and get aggressive now in the info war, you're never gonna sit there and kill people or fight, okay? And I don't want to kill people and I don't want to fight. Okay? I mean, I'm not a talker, folks. I'm actually a fighter, okay? All this talk's just a shadow of what I'll do in a war. And I'm not trying to brag here, but we don't want to go to this point, ladies and gentlemen. You want us to fight? Believe me, we're fighting hard just to stay on air. Forget the threats. That's easy to ignore. Forget all that. It's the money. And we just make it simple, InfoWarsStore.com, but spreading the word about the broadcast and buying the products and finding out which ones you like the best and continuing to use those as staples. That is absolutely the InfoWar. Without you, this dog doesn't hunt. Without you, it doesn't exist. So you're not the caboose, you're the engine. You understand? When you spread the word, it changes the world. When you buy the products, it fuels the coal in the engine that we are at ramming speed on a collision course for the enemy. You understand? They know we will chew them up. We've got their number. We're made for this. And we're going to bang heads till somebody's head breaks open and the brains hit the ground politically. I am ready to ram my head into them until my brains or their brains are on the ground. You understand? I will hammer my forehead into their forehead and will never stop. I enjoy it. You understand that? But I need fuel and I want to hit them at full speed. You understand? Full speed. And I can't stand not getting up to full speed. I want to hit them and obliterate them. I want to smash them harder than they've ever been hit.